Hello everyone, back tuning into our latest Star Wars video. So we're going to talk about Admiral Ackbar for this Star Wars video, and the actor who voices Admiral Ackbar has been throwing a bit of shade in the direction of Disney and Lucasfilm about the death of Admiral Ackbar in The Last Jedi. So I'm going to give you very shortly. Saw this pointed out on the channel Free Buck Theatre, so I'm going to leave a link to Free Buck Theatre in the links page, and also we're at comicbook.com. Leave a link to comicbook.com in the links page as well. Just say that if you're enjoying my Star Wars content on this channel, please like, share and subscribe. We're happy to bring you more Star Wars content very soon. Don't forget to comment, let me know what you think about the videos and also about this article that we're going to talk about right now. So the headline is Star Wars actor throws shade at Admiral Ackbar's death in The Last Jedi. Long-time Admiral Ackbar voice actor Tom Kane, who most recently voiced character in 2017 Star Wars The Last Jedi, admits he's not really thrilled about Ackbar's unceremonious death, and argues the esteemed rebel leader should have won the heroic sacrifice that ultimately went to Vice Admiral Holdo, played by Laura Dern. I've been Ackbar for about 6 years, and I was not really thrilled about how they blew him out of the side of a ship, Kane told Star Wars show live at Star Wars Celebration Chicago. He goes on, I'm like, who, and I think we all was asking this, I'm like, who is this Holdo woman? Nobody knows her. No one's invested in her. Who is she? Why is she saving the fleet? If anyone was going to save the fleet, it'd be Ackbar, and he laughs. So he goes on about a little bit more. Ackbar ultimately perishes in the Raddus, that's the name of the ship, when the Raddus is assaulted and its bridge exploded by TIE fighters and attack, but leaves Resistance General Leia Organa, Carrie Fisher, near death and in a coma. Holdo, who was introduced in The Last Jedi, later devastated the overpowering First Order fleet when she rammed the Raddus into the Supremacy at Lightspeed. That's the ship of the First Order, of course. Though Ackbar dies with little fanfare in Rian Johnson's directed and scripted blockbuster, the only briefly acknowledged later by Commander Lama Diarse, Amanda Lawrence, his death was expanded upon by Gary Whitta in the pages of comic book adaptation Star Wars The Last Jedi Volume 2, which sends Ackbar off with fitting words, "It's been an honour serving with you all." So they tried to make up for it with a comic, but I mean, again, this just shows the flaws of The Last Jedi. We all know what a poor film it is, what a terrible film it is. They chose to have a character that we had never seen before, Admiral Holdo. They chose to have her be one that's to sacrifice herself and fly her ship at light speed into the ship of the First Order, which, by the way, also creates a terrible problem for the rest of the saga, because if that is possible, then why on earth didn't they just do that with the Death Star? Why did they need to do that trench run? Why not just fly a ship with a droid into the Death Star and destroy it? So what Rian Johnson did with that, the sort of kamikaze lightspeed attack that Holdo performed, that kind of like breaks Star Wars mythology through the other films. It breaks Star Wars lore. All of the space battles that we've had over the years, most of them were not needed. They could have just rammed a ship with a droid into another ship, and that would be the end of the thing. But anyway, coming back to Ackbar, so his death was very, very poorly done. He's always been kind of like a minor character, but he's quite a beloved character. He's spawned 1,000 memes. It's a trap. This is the guy just here, of course. So he's the character that's formed 1,000 memes, and although although a minor background character, really, he's always had a lot of love within the fandom. It's sort of thing that you miss this with George Lucas, really. If George had been involved in the creation of the sequel trilogy, I'm sure he'd have picked up on the fact that you've got to give Ackbar a better death than just blowing him out the side of a ship and not really acknowledging what's happened to him. So they chose instead to have this stroppy character, Laura Dern, played Admiral Holdo. She's a very abrupt, very abrasive character. Looks like she's had a blue rinse that's gone terribly wrong. I don't know what the purple hair is all about. And they chose to have her be one to sacrifice herself, even though the audience is not invested in her. You don't know who she is, and the time that she's on screen, most of it she's spent being a thoroughly obnoxious sort of person. Only in the final few minutes of the character arc does she sort of pick up as a character, but most of the time she's just a very stroppy looking person, and the audience didn't take to her. And they chose to have her do the sacrifice rather than Ackbar, who went out on a very, very poor death. And again, it just goes to show the abysmalness, really, of The Last Jedi. Very, very poor film. Divided the fandom, and there's so many problems with it. Another problem with Holdo's death, of course, is that later on in the film, at the end, Finn attempts a kamikaze run, sacrifice himself to save his friends on Crate, and Rose Tico pushes the ship out of the way. We get a speech from Rose saying about how you shouldn't sacrifice yourself. So we've just seen Holdo sacrifice herself, but then we get a speech at the end of the film about how Finn shouldn't sacrifice himself. It makes no sense. Terrible, terrible storytelling. And that's it. That's The Last Jedi. So the actor who played Admiral Ackbar, not very happy, and I suspect he's voicing the opinions of many, many Star Wars fans all over the world, not only about the terrible death that Ackbar was given, but also asking, who is this woman, Holdo? Who is she? Why did they choose to have her sacrifice herself and not Ackbar? It's a question I think many, many Star Wars fans have asked themselves. Right, please let me know what you think in the comments. Please like, share and subscribe. We'll be back with new Star Wars content very soon. Thanks for watching.